let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. 55 questions. So let's visit with some of the topics here. And you got to think now, as you go through this, you could have a tendency to really try to go in depth and really keep just going on and on. But I'm going to tell you right now, the questions aren't like that. All right? They're broad, general questions. There's nothing terribly specific about it. And I think the new AP format that you're going to take next week is kind of the same thing. What they really want you to do is be able to take something and try to apply it to something else. Does that make sense? So I talk about Hammurabi's code. I mean, we could go on and on about Hammurabi's code, couldn't we? All right. Basically, what is it? It's just in a nutshell.
A set of laws.
It's a set of laws.
What are the first sets of laws?
That's even better yet. So what you said was great, but what she added, one of the first sets of laws. Okay, if you know that, you're halfway there. What else? What about the laws? Just super general. Taylor.
It's just the way like you give them power to like the ability.
I like where you're going, but I need a better answer than that.
They're super strict and have like really dire punishments.
That's not what I'm looking for, but that's true. That's what I'm saying though. You're all right.
The higher classes were privileged.
Keep going off what two of you said. Think again. Hammurabi's code creates a what?
Class system.
A class system, doesn't it? If you're poor, you're what? Let's be honest. You're screwed, aren't you?
Yeah.
Chances of you dying are high for just about anything under Hammurabi if you're poor. If you're rich, are you ever going to die? Nope. Very, very unlikely that you will die. Because you can just do what? If you ever really read Hammurabi's code, you can just pay your way out of it. Oh, I killed your son, here's 20 bucks. Oh, you killed my son, you're dead. You know, so, but now that system he creates with that social structure, that looks like what else?
The 12 people.
Huh?
The 12 people.
No, I said the social structure.
Caste system.
The caste system. The caste system is going to be related to about 8 questions on this test. So, now do you need to know the caste system or just know what the caste system is?
What it was.
Just know what it is. And where did the caste system begin? India. And if you know that, you're good. Because now you can tie it to all these other questions, can't you? That's what they're trying to do here. That's what the goal is for this test. So as I talk about these things, you have to be thinking that. All right, Hammurabi. I know what it is. It's the first set of laws. Creates a social structure. And that is kind of used other places. You're good. All right? Now, I guarantee you some of you went a lot more in depth when you were taking notes on Hammurabi's code, didn't you? And I'm not trying to be mean. That's great. All right? It'll help you. But you got to see where we're going with these questions. And why does it have to be that kind of broad statements?
Because we're only taking it in 50 minutes.
Because they're not just like facts.
It's 50 minutes, but next week, there's going to be over 200,000 of you taking the test Thursday morning. All right? And out of that 200,000, there's like 10 different textbooks that people are using. Can you go super specific? No, because it might not have been in your textbook. It was at DV's, but not ours, and vice versa. We might have a question that was in our book, but not their book. So AP can't do that. So if there's anybody ever in an AP test, like a name, it's going to be a name that what?
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows. You'll know it. Should everybody know Mahatma Gandhi? Yeah, you have to know him. There. It's guys like that. All right. And Christopher Columbus. Why would we have to know him?
He sailed the ocean blue.
Hardly. You're right. You're correct. But he created what? What was named after him? The Columbian Exchange. It's named after him. So it's things like that. It's people like that that you need to know. Not some random guy somewhere else. I will tell you that one of the answers for this test is A.
Cool.
So if you put A down for an answer, You might have a good shot at it.
Yeah, but aim for all of them in your.
No, don't do that. You'll get a lot wrong then.
No, get one right. I didn't say that.
You'll get at least one right, but that would be about it. Here's a good question for you. If I say Neolithic, what comes to mind? There should be a couple of things. Cameron, give me one. Tools is one. I like that. Octavia, give me the other one. I like that too, but something that came out of it. Boom, done. Nothing else to talk about. Tools and agriculture. Okay. For this test, just think that. Agriculture and tools. And if you know that, you're good.
We know what like their agriculture. Nope.
Nope. Nope. We'll worry about that next week. Let's just worry about this week. Do 1 week at a time. We talked about that already a little bit. Oh, here's a good question for you. What does Chinese society look like? How could you classify it with gender?
Patriarchal.
Patriarchal. I like that. That's good. Oh, here's a word you should know. And I'll give you probably about 4 or 5 words. I can't tell you anything else with the exception of here's a word you need to know. So you should probably do what with these words?
Write them down.
You should probably write them down. Don't ask any questions because I will not tell you, but you should need to know it. Suffrage. Some of you probably already know what suffrage means. Christian, what is suffrage?
One day, like, fight to vote.
Vote. Very good. Suffrage equals voting. And it's SUFFRAGE. Suffrage. Okay. Now, here in America, when did all men get the right to vote?
Very beginning. All men?
All men.
1840.
Shoot.
1846.
That'd be after the Civil War.
Yeah.
And the 13th Amendment.
I think it was 1868 or 1870 with the passage of the 15th Amendment. So all men got the right to vote in America.
Wait,
When do
what day
all
is that?
women get the right to vote in America?
19 something.
1920 with the passage of our 19th Amendment, all women get the right to vote. And it was a big deal, but they stopped it for what? The war, World War I. Very good. Talked about that. That was good. Now there are some maps on this, and here's a good question for you. What belief systems moved into East Asia? When I say belief system, I'm probably talking about what? Religion.
Islam.
Christianity.
Buddhism.
I like Buddhism
Islam.
and Hinduism. All right, so you got to think. All right, on the map, you have to be thinking now, and you have to. Now, I'm going to tell you right now as an incredible hint. On these maps, I've looked at them. If you read everything associated with the map, what do you think you will find? The answers. All right. One map is about the spread of Islam. And it says so right there. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. Tomorrow you're going to what the hell? This is too easy. Because you'll see it.
Wait,
all right, so we're
wait,
saying...
you say the...
Just read the
No.
map.
No, but you said like one specific...
Not sure of Islam.
That's all I'm going to say. Shh. If you guys actually pay attention, you'll probably get about 20 answers on the test. So stay focused.
At least they got sale.
I saw you earlier without shoes. You really want to walk down these halls with shoes? That's scary. That's a scary, scary stuff.
I stepped on something sharp and I didn't realize it was a rock and I thought I was bleeding in my heel. So
What if you step on like a needle?
that's what I'm thinking. This school, I don't know what I'm gonna find at this school.
I'm not sure what we find. Yes, Anna, I'm sorry.
Is there gonna be a podcast or anything?
This is it right here, because I am literally, I said, I am reading the test to you. In East Asia, what was the first big project built by the Chinese?
Grand Canal.
Great Wall of China.
All right, now stop. One of you is correct. One of you should probably pull out a phone and figure out which one came first.
Egg first, the chicken or the egg?
Okay? So now think about that for a second. Stop right there. So she's looking that up, but let's talk about this then.
It's gonna be Grand Canal.
Anthony, how are you today? Just okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't seem your usual chipper self right now. A little down, a little sick?
Kind of boring.
This is boring?
You're getting answers to your final tomorrow. How's this boring?
So Anthony, how are you able to build those, either the Great Wall or the Grand Canal? Because we talked about this a little bit, didn't we?
Well, I know the wall, but you have to build it up, so like you do the first layer.
No, that's not what I'm asking though.
A lot of people.
What?
A lot of people.
So what does that mean?
Centralized government.
Remember, you have to have that strong central government to be able to build all these things?
How are you taking this long to look up Grand Canal?
It's not popping up, Kevin.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
What was the Columbian Exchange again?
The trade of good between old world and new world.
Okay. So a lot of goods moving back and forth. Okay. Like that.
Wait, what is it? It's Spain and America.
The old world and the new world.
You just say old and new because it wasn't just Spain, it's going to become other people after.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question for you, Brayden. It's the 13th century. What are those dates?
1250.
Okay, perfect. Let me ask you this. In the Middle East, so you're picturing the Middle East area,
Which one's the middle?
like Iran, Iraq, Persia, those things. What is the main religion in that area?
Islam.
By the 13th century.
Is it?
You've got 5 choices.
It's a lot.
Islam, Judaism.
Is it?
I'm going to take 2 away, Hindu and Buddhism. I'll leave you 3.
Is it Christianity or Islam?
Go with Islam.
Here you go.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got it. So it's Islam. Very good. Now, in that 13th century, who would be challenging Islam? What group of people?
Christians.
Not the Christians.
Wasn't that when the whole
Not the Jews.
Crusades?
No offense to the Jews. The Jews weren't. They were done fighting by this point. They weren't big on fighting.
What about the Crusades?
No, it's not that part. It's kind of more in the other area, heading more towards Asia.
Oh, Hinduism.
Huh? No. No.
Confucianism?
No. You're missing a huge group of people that were dominating this time period. The Mongols. Remember, I never said they took over, but the Mongols were doing what? They're
Invading.
moving in this whole area and they're fighting with other people. Okay, Octavia. What happened first?
Grand Canal.
Told so.
I knew it.
Really? What is the year for the Grand Canal? Did you get a year?
581.
581 they started the Grand Canal?
That's what it said.
Okay, well, we're not going to lie right now. What happened with the Great Wall when they say that started?
1368.
Really? Damn, I'm way off. I could have swore they started the wall before that.
They started.
That's what the internet said.
Huh.
Wait, when does it say it was
He
built?
said use a phone, Einstein. Hey, whoever has a phone, look up the actual dates.
I was fine with it. This is a good question. This is a good question. Mia, are you ready? We have the Pope. You know who the Pope is, right?
Yeah.
Just the Pope in general, not a specific Pope right now.
Oh, yeah.
So the Pope is what?
The leader.
The leader of?
Catholic Church.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Religion?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Catholic. I should
Okay, Mia, back to you now. The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. All right, we've got that established. And that you're Catholic.
Yeah.
And you know the Pope?
Not personally.
So Waddell, I got it. The Great Wall started in 3rd century BCE.
See, that's what I thought.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Smart.
Thank you, Mr. Einstein.
Analysis.
All right, so here's my question though, Mia. Can you tell me a name of a person in another of the religions that would be similar to the Pope? And I want a name like that. I don't need a real name, just a title of a person that could be of another religion. No.
Dalai Lama.
No.
Oh,
Rabbi.
no.
Not a rabbi. You're close, but it's got to be the leader of the religion. Doesn't have to be Jews.
No. Who's the leader of Islam?
Who's the leader of the Jewish church?
Ooh. What's wrong with this a little bit, Kevin? What do you call? But Muhammad had a title.
Yeah.
No. No, it's not prophet. It starts with a C.
Calvin.
Oh no, the Grand Canal.
Is it catfish?
No, it's a Calvin.
So Wall was first. Spell it.
C-A-L-I.
Oh my God, where
You spell it.
C-A-L-I-P-H-A-T-E. Caliphate.
Okay.
I know that. The caliphate is the Pope equivalent of Islam. C-A-L-I-P-H-A-T-E.
And what do we need to know about him?
He is the Islamic equivalent to the Pope.
Where'd
So he's a leader of that.
Camden. Camden just leave?
You got to pass. Ooh, here's a good question for you. Alora, can you give me the dates of the 11th century? The 11th century. Hundreds?
1000s.
I would just 1,000 to 1,099. That's the 11th century. So, Blair, what type of government would support the Pope in that 11th century? Huh?
A monarch.
Do we really have a monarchy in the 11th century? We had what, though? What was our government structure like in the 11th century?
Feudalism.
In Europe, that would support a Pope.
Feudalism.
It was.
Right there. Feudalism. Remember feudalism? Now, is Blair correct in saying there is a monarch? Yes.
Yeah.
But does a monarch really have the power we think of when we think of a king? No, he's not that strong at this point. Did they become stronger later on? Most definitely. So I don't want you to think you were 100% wrong on that one. You were about 95% wrong. No, you were like 50% wrong. But that's okay. That was good. We talked about that. Oh. Ooh. Let's double check this one. I didn't even tell the last group this one.
Yay!
What would happen, and I don't need any other commentary, just think of the government. What would happen to the government if the president were to die today?
It would There'd be succession.
Taken over by the vice
Would the day-to-day operations of the government change at all?
No.
No. Does it change every 4 years in January when we elect a new president? No, it stays the same, right? There's a name for that,
Succession.
not succession.
Ooh,
That lower,
Republic.
Replacing.
well, I like that, but that's not it. Bureaucracy. Remember we talked about bureaucracy quite a bit? We said that pretty much started where? Who started that whole bureaucracy business?
I want to say the Chinese, but I'm probably wrong.
No, you're right.
Oh,
Right? You may want to go back and just see where that kind of starts. And that's it. I mean, don't go any more in depth on it. Just like, hey, it's going to start in this dynasty, and how long does it last?
Up until now.
What was it? The Tang?
Could have been. It was one of those early ones where they really hammer it home and it's in place. She's saying the Tang, but I'm not 100% sure. So just tonight, don't spend a lot of time on that. Just real quick, what dynasty does bureaucracy really take hold? And you'll be able to see that. So, and that's fine. Now, how did you get into that? The Chinese did something.
Yeah, Tang did do bureaucracy.
Tang, very good. What? Ooh.
Yeah. Civil exams.
The
That's
civil exams. Very good. I would jot that down. That was the goal for every who? Every young man in China, the parents wanted him to do what? Take that test, do well, and get a job in the bureaucracy. Because they knew what would happen once you got that job.
You make money.
good life.
You're going to make money, you're going to be there for how long?
Forever.
Forever. All right? Because we saw what? Emperors come and go, but who was still there? Bureaucracy. Okay? Excellent. Very good. See, you guys say you don't know anything. Ooh. Abby.
I looked over there and that was
I know, see? I was right here and you just glanced up. It's like, damn. You should just kept my head down. This is an easy question though, Abby. The Mayans. Remember I put the Mayans up on the board? Well, I got some notes on the Mayans, so I'll let you flip over to the Mayans real quick. Okay. What would be the most likely reason for the Mayans' demise?
Wasn't it the Europeans coming in and just sort of taking everything?
Okay, there's one. Kevin's saying no, though. Kevin?
It said in the book that we didn't really know what started it. It could have been agriculture problems. It could have been small revolution, like small wars that happened in it. But they just started shrinking over time.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything? Bella?
Afterwards. Okay, hold on. I did write this down.
Invasion by foreigners.
Yeah, I got invasion.
Civil war.
Okay.
Didn't someone come after them? Or
Diseases.
did they come after?
Now, Mayans are pretty much done. I mean, because we got those, how many groups we have kind of right there that are similar? Let's be honest. We have the Mayans, the Incas,
Didn't the
Olmecs.
Mayans kill the Incas?
the Aztecs, all kind of roughly the same, right? Okay. What if I threw this word out to you? What if I said disease?
Because they came out and were like, hey, hug us.
Would that be a possibility?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this disease coming from? It's only coming from one spot, the Europeans. Okay. Ooh, this is an easy question. They're both related. What did the Mongols protect? Kevin.
Silk Road.
Silk Road. All right. So they were big on trade. Now let me ask this, Kevin. Follow up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you associate the Mongols with ocean trade?
No.
No. So don't ever do that. The Mongols have zero impact on ocean trade. So here's a word you should write down. I'm not going to say anything else about the word. You should write it down. Caravanserai.
Caravanian.
Okay,
That is-
so were the last four letters,
A different one.
yeah, were the last four letters actually necessary?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
And it's in your book. And somebody should probably look it up. It's in the index.
That's
and
a
you'll
good
find it.
idea.
You should know it.
E-R-A-I. E-R-A-I.
Caravans, E-R-A-I.
Caravanserai. Car-
269.
Oh.
Great, the master of the glossary back there. You know this word?
knows his alphabet very well.
Appreciate Jeremy's honesty, flat out. Not a word, not a clue. Not even a help.
Speak up, boy.
Great.
There's a note at the bottom that says caravanserai, or however you say that, offers splendid facilities for caravan merchants, but they.
Oh,
sometimes
it was
have
rest
restrictions.
stops.
And like there's.
Mm.
So I guess it's like how the caravans.
Along what road?
The Silk Road.
Silk Road.
Mm.
It's basically like if you drive between here and Tucson, there's gonna be what?
Rest
A
stops.
rest stop. And what, if you call the rest stop?
Loves, right?
Did he say
This is awesome.
Wait, what did he say?
No, he said loves, the truck stop. So, well, you're not wrong, Blair. I'm not
Is
gonna
that
say.
the 50% right?
Yeah. Do the caravans. Okay. Could you tell me, real quick, off the top of your head, give me a couple reasons why ocean trade became much more advantageous? Give me one thing, quick. Okay, that was what I was looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I want like inventions that made it boom.
Oh,
Like the
the.
There's one, compass.
The lactine sail thing.
Yeah.
There's two.
The star
What?
Sorry.
Star thingy.
Yeah.
Star thingy's called what?
It starts with an A.
Starlink?
Not a
The
sextant.
Star
Astrolabe.
Astrolabe.
Okay.
Okay? That comes later. That came first, but it was a refinement of that. Okay? All right, excellent. You guys got those questions?
Wait, what was the first one? Astroloom, lactine,
Compass.
compass.
Latin sales.
The next series of questions deals with the plague.
Yay.
So real quick, Emily, give me one super simple quick fact about the plague that you know right off the top of your head.
About a third of your population died.
Okay, perfect, stop. Christian, give me another one. Real quick, just something real quick off the top of your head on the plague.
It came from rats right here.
Okay, that's fine, but we should expand on that a little bit. Victoria, bam, I love that. Anything else that we should know? Blair,
It's because of poor hygiene.
loved it. Anything else? Started in Asia. Moved along this. Now, we've got it moving. What do we call that when something moves and takes
Pandemic or epidemic?
Epidemic.
an epidemic? But
In Asia.
what else can you call it? Well, there's that word that we used when things are from one spot, you kind of take them into your spot.
Fusion.
What?
Diffusion.
Diffusion. Very good. Excellent. Get that. Get that. Ooh, this is a good question. Even though I glanced at Abby's eyes and what you do instantly, She looked down. So, Jade, who wasn't even looking at me, she's like, damn, I can't win here. This is a good question. Yeah, I know you know the answer to this. Give me one thing besides the death that Emily talked about that would be a result of the plague. So there's a couple things that happened when the plague was all done. Huh?
I'm trying to remember.
Okay. Does everybody see where I'm going? So we know there's plenty of death,
Oh.
but what else happened? Anthony?
Something with the economy.
All right. Renaissance is going to
No.
start. Bella? Okay.
The serfs or the peasants who were working the land went against the landowners because there were less of them, so were able to get more.
Okay, I like that. Ella?
I was gonna say, eventually didn't it kind of make the economy better because there were less people, so like some people were like working in the castles and stuff.
Is that true? You know, there's more income now because there's less people to share it with. So that's good. I mean, it's kind of, it is. But there's another thing I'm looking for though. Because we didn't have them, very much of them, but now we clearly don't have them at all. And it's going to take a while for us to build these back up.
Kingdoms?
Keep going on that path.
Banners?
Not minors. Think of a kingdom. You're the sixth largest one in America now.
Country? City-state?
What's the name for a city that I would look for?
City-state?
Starts with a U.
Union. No.
Urban.
Why did you say
What?
union?
An urban center. Whatever towns we did have, what happened?
Destroyed.
Huh? An urban center? Because if there was a lot of people there, what's going to happen? If one person got the plague, what usually happened? Everybody had the plague. So urban centers was a huge decline. All right? And you guys were, now here's the thing. This is what I want you to think about. I may be focusing on one part of this answer, but you guys should keep thinking about everything that's said because it can be used again where? Next Thursday. All right, on the AP test. Just because I focus on one spot doesn't mean they're not going to ask a question about something else. So you guys are doing a really, really good job with this. Here's a word you should write down, and I'm just not going to say another word about it. You're free to talk about yourselves with it. It is MERCANTILISM. And I'll give you a moment to discuss.
Mercantilism.
Mercantilism. You should know this word. Period. If you don't know it, have one of your classmates look it up and tell you.
What is that?
What does it mean?
I think I know.
Look it up.
That's why we're having Octavian Taylor. You guys are looking it up.
Mia, go.
Is that what is it mean?
No. No.
No hammer, no
What is it?
Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
It's not. So we're done.
Mercantilism should be in the book.
Thank you so much.
Well, tell them, not me. I'm staying out of this because I can't tell you about it.
Mercantilism, also called commercialism, is a system in which country attempts to amass wealth through trade with other countries.
You better say it again.
Please.
Okay,
And
mercantilism
slower.
is also called commercialism. It is a system in which a country attempts to amass wealth through trade with other countries.
Do you like a time for that, Bella? Is there like a time period when they really are doing this mercantilism?
1900s, 1950?
1600s around there because this is before Adam Smith or Wealth of Nations.
It's triangle trade. Around that.
Cameron's right with the date. It's early on when we start our what?
Yeah.
Not
Imperialism.
We start our exploration. We start moving all those goods, like the Columbian Exchange. That started that. The Triangle Trade. That's when this is starting to take place. This mercantilism. And one thing that they don't talk about in that definition is what the country does to promote it. So how can a country promote this, Bella?
It says they export more than it imports, and it increases stores of like gold and precious metals.
Okay.
Military applications.
Tax incentives.
All right. Yes, Ella.
Like when Spain like had people explore like Christopher Columbus and those people.
All right, what did Spain do for that?
Sponsor.
Sponsor. They paid for it. Think about the British. What is the big company?
East,
You should know it.
East
India
India
Trading
East
Company.
India Trading Company, right? Who set that up?
Britain.
Britain.
The government, didn't they? So they're encouraging you to do what?
Trade.
Trade. And they offered them what?
So this is what Japan did. This is like what Japan did, how they were setting up businesses, but it was all government run. Okay.
Well, not quite. That's more of that Tsubatsu you're talking about, where, you know, like Toyota, you know, they're going to build cars, but they'd obviously own the mine to get the iron, to create the steel, to build the car. And they own all those companies that way. This is where Britain was saying, all right, Kevin, you are a trader. We'll offer you protection. We will not tax you as much, but we're going to let you pretty much go do what you need to go do. And we will pretty much do what?
Keep the profit.
We're going to split the money, but here's the deal. I don't care how you do it. You just get it done. And we want all these goods coming in towards us. And they did that with India. How? What did they do to India? What did Britain do?
Set up a.
Second government.
Don't think of college. Just think about what they did with the goods. What did they want from India? All of you are wearing it right now, pretty much.
Cotton.
Cotton. What did they do with the cotton from India? They shipped it back to Britain,
So they could
turned it
sell
into
it.
shirts, took the shirts back to India and said, here, buy these.
You know, that makes so much sense.
That's kind of what mercantilism is as well. All right, I'm forcing you to buy goods. The government is helping me do this. Now, the British government wasn't making the shirts, were they? No, and they weren't actually shipping the shirts, but they were making sure that it took place. So keep that. You're good there. Excellent. So you guys are so smart.
Good. You're fun.
You guys are so smart. You guys are so smart. Also, if you notice, I put in your test corrections too.
It's not too full.
So I did that. I pretty much got that.
Camden, I swear to God.
Here's one thing I want you to look at is take a look at one leg, one segment of the triangle trade.
Slave.
I want you to look at just slaves from Africa to the Americans. And I want you to think about what is the impact at Africa and what is the impact on the other side. Yes, sir.
It made Africa like have more internal conflicts because that's kind of how they decided who got like sold, right?
Okay. What else would it do? What's their name for population that we would see in AP? Yeah. No. What else do we call that? We look at people, movement. There's a name for that.
Migration.
Huh?
Migration.
That's a good word too, but it starts with a D. It encompasses all of those things you're talking about. Demographics. Okay. Very good, Bella. Now, Bella, since you did such a very good job with that, here's a follow-up question. Bella's like, damn, I'm gonna answer another question again. Now, if I have slavery, which we see that, right? We see it throughout history, different parts. What movement pretty much says, you know, this just isn't good. We should stop this. There's a movement that we talked about. Probably not as much as we should have, but we did mention
I know we talked about it.
it. Anna?
What?
Is it that
It was the British.
Yeah, the British stuff.
You're right, but this happened before, this was right around that same time. But it starts with an E. The Enlightenment movement.
Say that.
That was, did you have that? Did you say that? Alright. Because the Enlightenment movement was all about what?
Peace, equality, love, hippiness.
And 2 words. Second word is laws.
Law of man.
Remember natural
Oh,
laws?
natural law.
Oh, like the happiness.
Things like that. Very good. Very good. All right. Here, I'm just going to set this question on. You guys can talk about it for about a minute. Why is 1450 to 1750? So that's a time period. Why is that considered to be the turning point of history?
Industrial revolution.
You guys talk about it. 1450 to
It
1750.
was colonization. Yeah, imperialism. Yeah,
I can't tell you much more.
it's basically
You guys
colonization.
got to talk about it yourself a little bit.
Give me a second. Let me try to
Colonization. Well, there are a couple
So is
other
that around the
stuff.
same time as imperialism? Huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
I know some stuff.
All right, so think about that for a second. It's a good question, isn't it? I heard some things that you guys were talking about. What's probably the big word? It starts with an E that we could use.
Economy,
EX.
excavations,
Exploration.
exploration.
That's a big one. So let's think about that. All right, what's next? Just think about this phrase. Just write this phrase down. That's all I want you to do. So just write this phrase down. Western European Crusades into the Holy Land.
Say it again.
Western European Crusades into the Holy Land.
Can the first thing that pops into our mind be we lost? They lost.
First thing I think of is that was the answer to something.
Who's we? That's all I'm going to say. Oh, Taylor, here's a good question for you. We talked about this. Can you name a couple of them? A couple of the, here's what I'm looking for. Not the Crusades. So don't sit and think I got to know all 9 Crusades. I just want you to think about that phrase. That's it. Can you tell me what a gunpowder empire is?
No. Gunpowder was not
Alora?
They were the opposite.
That could be one.
It
What does it
wasn't
mean
used
by
by
a
China,
gunpowder
though.
empire?
It wasn't used by China. It was used to describe Britain when they beat their shit.
Can you
'Cause they
name one
brought
that might
little
be
sticks
from
to
India?
a gunfight. Britain and
No, from India.
Oh.
Before Britain.
From India, from Britain.
Well, stop for a second. Let's back up here. How many empires should you know from India?
2.
What are they?
There's the one on the top and there's one on the bottom. I forget what they're called.
Top and bottom. But that one-
No.
That won't work. So,
Mm.
I need some names of empires from India.
Really great.
Shut up. That is the dumbest answer.
Well, some of the post Google.
I like Mughal.
Mughal.
I'll go with that. I like that one quite a bit. The Mughal Empire.
Oh, for real? That's one?
That's
Safavid.
one.
Was it the Safavid?
Safavid's more in the Persia area.
Sultanate of Delhi.
In India.
Boy.
There's a big one, starts with a G.
George
What? The Guptas, remember the Gupta Empire? There's a famous emperor you should know. This guy has shown up in the AP exam as a guy. One guy from India.
Alexander the Great.
Oh my god.
Siddhartha will be the Buddha.
Just kidding.
He was a leader. What? Ashoka. What empire was he from? Is he a Gupta?
The moon.
Because there was another one that started with an M. And there's the three. Not the Mughals, we know that. What's the other one? Starts with an N or an M. A. What? The Mauryans. Remember the Guptas, the Mauryans, and the Mughals. If you just know those three, you're good.
We just know the names, like no.
Just know. I'm thinking I'm thinking Mughals tomorrow, though. I don't know why I'm saying that.
I don't know either.
Maybe I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that.
Google, you said?
I don't know what I said. Google.
I heard Google.
It was Google.
Oh, there's Japan. I forgot Japan.
Didn't we talk about Japan?
Better write that down. I told her forget Japan, but no, there is Japan. Okay, that's done. All right, so Japan. I told you a couple things about Japan. What did I talk about? What did I put on the board? The Meiji and the Tokugawa. Christian, are you big on Japanese?
Am I big?
Do you know much about the Japanese right now?
What?
Well, from the book.
Oh.
Do you feel comfortable with Japan? What is a daimo?
That's the D-A-I-Y-M.
Yep.
Is it something with the government?
Okay. Do you know, or do you want to call in Taylor
Isn't
for
it-
read a burst?
Okay, so the daimyo, so it's kind of like city states, and they were like in charge of like the little like small little like areas, and then they like were under the shoguns.
So what would you call them? What would they be like here in America?
Governors.
Like governors.
Like a governor of a state, right? And then the shogun would be who in America? The president.
And then they had like an emperor, but he was kind of just like a face. He didn't really have any power.
Excellent. What caused a change in all that?
The daimos went up and went against the.
But
what was
why?
Because they realized that they were stronger and that the emperor was an idiot.
But the emperor was hitching his wagon to who? Some of the shoguns. That's what made all these people get all pissed and bent out of shape. Christian knows what I'm talking about, but he can't quite figure it all out.
Wait, what were the shoguns?
Like presidents.
They're like presidents. What was happening in Japan that caused all this uprising?
Was it like they were unfair, like treatment?
Also, wasn't a new religion being introduced?
Why? A lot of new things are being introduced. From who?
China and a bunch of the
Not
trade.
China so much.
Europe.
Europe.
Or
Europe and who else?
Spain.
America.
America.
And so people got tired of all the foreign influence in Japan. And the emperor was being weak and being taken over by these people. So what should we do? Drive them all out. That's where you see like the samurai, these guys rising up saying enough is enough. It should be what? It's kind of what Trump said. What did Trump say? Let's be honest.
Make Japan great
America
again.
first. Didn't he say that? That's what these guys are saying. It's Japan first. Let's get rid of everybody. And we see that a couple times, don't we? Didn't China want to do that? But what did Britain say?
Nope.
No, you got to keep buying all our opium. We need you stoned.
When do ninjas
You know,
all the time.
Grand Canal was first.
Basically the same.
All right, so that's good. All right, it's 1843.
1843.
1843.
Now the
What's going on, Dave? What's big right now going on?
Industrial Revolution.
Ooh, the Industrial Revolution. All right. The Industrial Revolution. Quickly, how are people being treated?
Poorly.
Who's being treated poorly?
Workers.
The workers, the poor people. What about if I'm rich?
You didn't have to work.
Am I making even more money right now?
Yes.
We also see the rise of what?
Union.
I like that. Something else. Think class system.
They're like, is there like
What?
Middle class.
The middle class. Before it used to just be rich and poor, but now we get a middle class, like managers and things like that. They're making money, so they want to move. So we start seeing changes demographically about that. So think about that. That's excellent. You know about imperialism.
Hey, this is the
What's social Darwinism again?
stupidity.
Fittest.
Survival of
That's
the fittest.
Darwinism.
Survival of the fittest.
Wasn't like countries or something we're gonna be more
Or better, than like the
successful.
white man's version.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Stupid.
Europeans are what? We're smarter and better, so we're going to do what to all of you?
Make you
Make
better.
you smarter and better. Okay? Perfect. Hold on, we got, let's see. Think of the Balfour Declaration. Real quick, who can tell me that instantly?
India and Pakistan.
Not India, Pakistan.
What's that one?
Balfour's
Britain
what?
was agreeing
Zionism
with the
and
Zionism.
London.
Gosh darn it.
The-
All right, here's what you need to think
Britain
about the
backing up
Balfour
India,
Declaration.
right?
They want to create what?
Zionist state in Israel.
Okay?
And
If I
Palestine.
create a new state, I
And
gotta
I
do
don't-
what with the other people?
Kill them.
I don't know anymore.
Correct. If I put people here, I gotta do something with the other people.
Mush.
So keep that in the back of your mind. All right, take a quick look at the split of India and Pakistan. I told you about that. There's a map about it, so make sure you read the map. And you'll be set there. And then I'm doing that one right now. That's the last one.
Wow, what a smart
53.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so there's been some hot debate lately about the formation of Pakistan. So can we just have a little few details on that?
I don't think I have
2 minutes.
Pakistan, remember, there was a big deal. Hinduism is huge, right?
Yeah.
There's a growing Muslim population.
So
They're not getting
it
along.
was the Muslims that moved out and formed Pakistan.
Muslims move and create their own country, Pakistan.
That worked out well.
I don't know.
Well, the move didn't work out too well because like 1 million people died.
Wait, so what's the last name?
That sounds like a good.
Write this word down. F-I-L-I-A-L, piety.
Oh.
Filial
Filial piety.
What is it, Braden? Do you know? Okay.
And then it's like
Confucius.
in China, it was like your family comes first.
Keep going with that. If you get that, you'll get the modern day China question. So if you think about that. Okay? All right. We have pretty much gone through the 55 questions tomorrow.
Time to finish.
So,
You got this.
Now, here's the key though, real quick. Keep it. I don't need it. Real quick, when you're taking the test tomorrow, what do you need to do?
Slow down and read.
Pace yourself.
Read the question. You're going to have reading passages. Read it. Make sure you read all of it. Don't just get a couple key words and go, oh, I got this.